You know when you wake up in the morning and you avoid yourself in the mirror and you try to take a shower as fast as you can and get out before you can see yourself in the full-length mirror, and then you keep going day after day after day after day, always telling yourself later. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. Today is episode number 378. This is the first Get Real episode of the year. This is Get Real episode number 85, and we're getting real. Let's get real about your resolution to lose weight. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. Today is the Get Real episode premiere of the year, the first one of the year, and it's the 85th Get Real episode since I launched the JoLynn Braley Show 7 years ago. So I have to give you a warning if you're looking for other people to blame, if you're looking for more excuses to make, if you want to hang on to your struggles with your eating and your weight, if you prefer to stay in the pain where things are not getting better, they're getting worse, and you want to keep telling yourself that someday it will change, then you're not going to like this podcast and you should just exit now. Exit immediately. Go now. Click off and leave. All right. So for you who is still here, good job. You are willing to get real with yourself. And if you've heard any of my other Get Real episodes in the past, you understand that getting real with yourself is not about beating yourself up or criticizing yourself. Getting real with yourself is all about taking a good, honest look at where you are and where you're saying you want to be, and then looking at exactly what are you doing to get there. Getting real with yourself is just like if you wanted to take a vacation and fly to the Bahamas. All right? So here you are, you want to take a trip to the Bahamas. And let's say that you go on the internet and you go to one of those ticket sites. You know, there's a whole bunch of them that will compare airfare and hotels and all those different kinds of things. And they ask you, where do you want to go? And you say, I want to go to the Bahamas. I'm so excited. I want to lay on the beach, and I also want to look great in my bathing suit. I'd love to even wear a bikini, but heck, if I could just wear a one piece and look the best that I could possibly look, like just feel so confident and feel so strong in myself, in my core, knowing that I am showing up as my best version of myself. That's what I want to do. And I want to go to the Bahamas and I want to show up and really, really enjoy it. I do not want to hide in my room and hide out and cover myself up from head to toe because I'm ashamed of my body. That's not what I want to do. I want to go to the Bahamas and feel great. And then the website asks you, okay, so where are you flying out of? Oh, and you say, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at where I'm at. I can't say where I'm flying out of because everything is wonderful. Everything is great. Everything is fine. I don't want to look at the fact that I'm actually 50 pounds overweight and that's where I'm starting. So I can't tell you where I'm flying out of because I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. But someday I'm going to go to the Bahamas. And the website's sitting there in front of you on your laptop saying, I can't give you a ticket fare if you don't tell me where you're starting from. I understand you want to go to the Bahamas, but where are you starting from? That application, that piece of software will not proceed to give you a ticket price if you don't punch in the airport code or the city from where you're flying out of. It's impossible. So you got to know where you're starting from. Oh, no, I can't say where I'm starting from. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to get real with myself. I don't want to look at my binge eating problems and my emotional eating problems. I don't want to look at the fact that I'm addicted to sugar. I don't want to look at the fact that what I'm trying to do is cover up a lifetime of hurt by eating constantly to stuff it down. I don't want to look at any of that. It's too painful, and I don't have a coach to help me. But I don't need a coach. All I need is a new food diet or a New Year's resolution. Yeah, I don't need help. And I'm not 50 pounds overweight. And I'm not having any problems eating healthy, living fit. I don't want to look at any of that stuff. Because the truth is, I'm not losing weight. I'm gaining weight. I can't stop eating. I'm addicted to food. And I feel like crap. But I just want to go to the Bahamas. I just want to go to the Bahamas. Can't you just give me a ticket price? Little website that I saw in a commercial on TV. You know, you're saying that you give these deals on airfare. I just want to have the ticket price. I just want to go to the Bahamas. And it's sitting there looking at you. It will not proceed to give you a ticket price or list out all the different airlines that you could fly to the Bahamas on if you can't tell it, or if you won't tell it. You won't tell it where you're starting from. This is what getting real is all about. You have to look at where you're starting from, because you're saying you want to go to the Bahamas. You want to lose 50 pounds. You want to feel great. You want to stop binge eating. You want to stop emotional eating, but you don't want to look at where you are. How are you going to get there? Is this making any sense at all? If it's not making any sense, or if it does make sense, I want you to go over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/JoLynn Braley. Click like to like the page. Leave me a comment. Tell me you were listening to episode 378, and tell me what didn't make sense, or tell me what does make sense. You know, there's millions of people out there having the same problems that you're having right now. The only way out, though, is you have to do something to get out of that. Does this make any sense? Because the longer you avoid looking at where you are, how will you ever get to this place of where you want to be? How are you going to get to the Bahamas? The Bahamas being your body that is 50 pounds lighter, your goal weight, looking fantastic in your jeans, feeling fantastic about yourself, having high energy, high self-confidence, really, really, really loving yourself, really liking yourself. I believe that it's more important to like yourself than it even is to love yourself. You want to know why? Want to know why? Tell me. You want to raise your hand? Tell me yes. I want to know why. Yes, please tell me why, because it sounds weird. Why would I want to like myself instead of love myself, JoLynn? Because everything you hear, it's always about self-love, right? So do you want to hear? Do you want to hear? Tell me yes. Tell me yes. The reason why it's so important to like yourself, and this is a process, okay? You have to learn new ways to actually get this result. It won't come just by hearing me talk about it. You've got to implement new ways. And it really helps when you have that strategy laid right out in front of you and all you have to do is do it. That's why coaching is so highly valuable. It's the fastest way to get from where you are to where you want to be. But first, you got to realize where you are in the pain, in the frustration, in the feeling of hopelessness. And you have to make a decision that I am going to get to that frickin' Bahamas. And I'm the only one who can get myself there because I'm the one that has to reach out to get the help to get there. Because if you could have gotten to the Bahamas on your own, wouldn't you be listening to me from the Bahamas right now? Wouldn't you already be at your goal weight? Wouldn't you already love yourself and like yourself? And by the way, why is it so important to like yourself? Because how many people do you have in your life that you really can honestly say, I love them, but you don't want to hang around with them? You see them maybe once a year during the holiday season, and that's it. That's enough. This is why it's so important to actually like yourself, to be happy with yourself. All right? How are you going to get to the Bahamas? How are you going to get to your goal weight and do it in a way that actually works so that you can keep the weight off? That's the big difference, because anybody can force themselves to diet and exercise and then gain it all back, and then do it again and gain it all back, and then do it again and gain it all back, and then do it again and gain it all back. When you have the core transformation that only comes from the inside out, and you get this through coaching with the right coach, if you want to do it quickly, if you're okay with the long, slow route, if you want to walk to the Bahamas and swim and hitch a ride on the back of do they have whales in the waterways between the United States and the Bahamas? I think they have dolphins, right? You don't want to hitch a ride on the back of a shark. Hitching a ride on the back of a shark, that's like doing another crash diet. You know that's going to fail. You know what I mean, Jean? So if you would prefer to walk to the Bahamas and then swim, and then I don't know how you would get there. How would you traverse the waterways from the Florida Keys, which is the most southern tip of the United States? How would you traverse that water to get from there to the Bahamas all by yourself? How would that work? Seriously. I think it'd be kind of treacherous. You probably wouldn't even get there. All right? So how do you end up getting from where you are to this place of freedom where you're just able to live a healthy lifestyle and do it without struggle? You know, let's rewind. Let's go back to last September. Last September, you said, I want to lose 50 pounds. Why didn't you do it then? Why would you say, I'm going to wait and make a New Year's resolution to lose weight? If you could have done it then on your own, why wouldn't you have done it? Does this make any sense? And remember, this is not about beating yourself up. It's maybe a light bulb moment that, wow, maybe this problem that I have, it's much deeper than I thought. And this is why I'm still here on January 16th, 2020, or whenever you're listening to this. And I said I was going to make a New Year's resolution to lose weight. And yeah, didn't follow through. I just can't stick with it. I want to lose weight. I want to believe in myself. I want to believe I deserve it. I want to believe that I can do it, but I'm not doing it. And I'm feeling pretty depressed and hopeless. But I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it because then I'll feel even worse. Well, then how will you get to the Bahamas? Because avoiding to look at it is the same thing as refusing to tell the ticket site where you're going to fly out of. Does this make sense? You know, the good news is that you can get to the Bahamas. You can get to that place of freedom where you are rocking it. You are looking fantastic. You are feeling fantastic. You're eating in a normal, sane manner. You're fueling your body with healthy foods. But the only way that's going to happen is you've got to do something different than what you're already doing. And you got to make a decision that you're worth it. Otherwise, how will you do it? Because if you could have done it last September, wouldn't you already be there? You know? And then you could say, oh, no, 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 no. It's too hard during the holiday season. Well, how many holiday seasons have you gone through? And why is it always the same thing? Is it possible that you might be missing something that you can't see? And so there's no way that you can break through it on your own because you can't even see it. And if that's the case, then what do you do? See, this is another place that coaching comes in, because when you're working with a professional, skilled, highly talented coach who knows how to help you, then your coach can see what you can't see. Because your coach is not caught up in the drama and the stories and the struggle that you live with on a day-to-day basis. And it's just so normal for you to be in that, you can't see it. And how do you break free when you can't see it? Is there a possibility that there's a reason that there are millions of people overweight? And if it were as easy as just doing a food diet, why would there be overweight people? Because how many healthy eating plans are available out there? So is there something else going on for why people aren't doing it? Is it possible that you're missing something? And is it possible that if you could get that thing that you're missing, that then you could finally get to the Bahamas, you could finally get to your goal weight, you could finally be free? This is what I do with my awesome coaching clients. I have been privately coaching amazing weight loss coaching clients since 2009. And in my proven step-by-step system, I've never seen it fail unless a person doesn't do it. And so all the people that only listen to my podcast and just hear me talk about things, that's not my coaching program. Coaching requires two-way communication, and it requires taking action. It requires being honest. It requires following through, so that you can break free and feel absolutely fantastic about yourself and finally lose the weight that you want to lose. Because if you could have done it last September, wouldn't you have done it? If you could have done this on your own already, wouldn't you have done it? Does any of this make sense? And so here we are on January 16th. The New Year's resolutions have gone out of the window. If you're willing to get real with yourself and look ahead, where will you be 6 months from now if you just keep doing what you're doing? What if instead you could get a completely different way, a way that you've never done before, and 6 months from now be in a completely different place? How awesome would that be? How good would you feel? Does that scare you to imagine breaking free of your current food and weight struggles? If it scares you, that's even more reason why you need coaching. Because it's always going to be easier to eat more food that makes your body fat. That's the easy way. There's no effort, there's no thinking, there's no strategy involved in that. The food doesn't talk back. The food doesn't care, doesn't do anything. But you can eat as much as you want, whenever you want. But then how does that make you feel in the long run? What if it could be different? What if there's something that you're missing? And what if it's only that you've never done it the right way before, and that's why you're still struggling? What if it's just as simple as getting on the path that will unravel what is driving your unhealthy eating habits? And what if a food diet can't give you what you really, really want? Because if a food diet could give you what you really, really want, wouldn't you already have it? Wouldn't you already be at your goal weight? You know, another thing that I just want to say before we wrap up today's podcast is that I also think that just saying, it's just because I'm too lazy. I think that that's an easy way out also. That's an easy excuse. You're never lazy if you really want to do something. It's all about something deeper that you're not able to access on your own. Because if you could, why would you be listening to my voice right now? Why would you have these problems? Does this make sense? If you want help to finally end your food and weight struggles for good, if you would love to stop wondering why you can't get it together, why you can't get control of your eating, why you keep procrastinating on your weight loss, if you'd love to stop wondering, why is it that I have all these other wonderful things going on in my life, I'm very accomplished in my career, I've got a wonderful marriage, or maybe you're very happy being single, I have all these blessings, but I feel so bad in my body and I can't get it together to get this thing done. I've been struggling a lifetime, and I often think that I just don't deserve it. I'm not good enough to do it. And I try diet after diet after diet after diet, and eventually I give up. Sometimes within 3 days, sometimes within 2 weeks. I always give up. And every time it gets worse. And I've done it all. If you want to get off of that hamster wheel that's not getting you to the Bahamas, it's not getting you to your end goal, it's not getting you to that place of freedom. And if you actually want to get to the place of freedom, the quickest way to do it is with coaching. And if you want to gain some inspiration from real life coaching clients I've coached before, search in the JoLynn Braley Show for the phrase real results. And you should find my exclusive 10-part sub-series of the JoLynn Braley Show, Real Results from the Inner Self Diet, and listen to the people that I interviewed, hear them talk about how much frustration and struggle they used to be in before we ever met, and hear them talk about how it all turned around. And some of them will even say they couldn't believe it, and they never would have believed it if I had tried to explain all of it in the beginning. So search in the podcast for the phrase real results, and you should find that special 10-part series. It's completely free to listen, and it will help you raise your level of hope that there's another way and it's really possible to stop struggling with your out-of-control eating, your overweight, your binge eating, your emotional eating, your negative self-talk, all of these problems. And if you want help and you don't want to wait any longer, you know that it's not getting better, it's getting worse, and you can't stand it any longer, then go over to www.loseweightgo.com. loseweightgo.com. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's take off from where you are and get to the Bahamas as fast as possible. The place to start is at loseweightgo.com so that you can go forward and get on your own path to freedom. This is only for you if you want to stop struggling. And it's only for you if you want to do something completely different than a food diet so that you can finally get the results, lose the weight, and break free like you desperately, deeply want to do. www.loseweightgo.com is the place to be. That's the place to start. We'll hop on the phone, find out what's going on with you. Find out if I can even possibly help you. I don't know unless we talk. See, the thing is about this podcast, this is a one-way communication. This podcast is not coaching. Coaching is for the real person, that is you, who wants real help and real results as quickly as possible. And that requires a two-way communication. Does that make sense? Go over to www.loseweightgo.com to take your first step towards the freedom from the struggle. Wouldn't you love to have that? I would think you would. Thanks so much for tuning in today for episode number 378 of the JoLynn Braley Show. This has been Get Real episode number 85. Get my free download over at www.easyfunweightloss.com. I wish you your best life living inside of your ideal body.